Here we go. Hey, y'all, welcome back to the Bourbon Talks, my Wednesday show where we sit back, have a drink, and talk about what's going on in the world of movies, TV shows, and comics. How's everybody doing tonight? Let me switch over to the comments. Thomas Gilkey, good to see you, man. Oh, I can't stay. That's okay. It's no problem. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. I'll give a few minutes for everybody to come in here. Hope everybody's having a great week so far. The bourbon for tonight is Jim Beam. We're finishing up a bottle. Next week, we're probably going to go with something else. Change it up a little bit, maybe some makers. I don't know. I'll keep you posted. Well, now as I do every week, I like to start off with what are you reading segment. Now, for me, I'm continuing with my X-Men series. This is the Jonathan Hickman series that was sort of born out of the Powers of X and the House of X series. This week, it's X-Men #2. This was an interesting comic. There's a lot of levity in this. We've got a few key story points that are sprinkled into this issue, but it's just a lot of comedy. I mean, it's funny banter. So basically, and I'm not going to ruin the comic for you, but it's Cyclops and his two kids, and they go on a little side mission, and to go, as Cyclops puts it, go kill some monsters. So it's a funny issue. There's not a lot of tension in this episode. Is pretty lighthearted, but it's got some great art. I'm really enjoying the animation here. I don't want to give too much away. Like I said, we'll go to one of the panels where there's not too much going on, but you've got some really interesting characters. You've got that's to be kind of a spoiler. I don't want to show you that one, but basically you've got some pretty good art here. Share this real quick. And it's a good issue. I mean, you've got some, like I said, you've got some good art. You've got some good. The dialogue is pretty witty. It's pretty funny in this episode. I'm sorry, not this episode. This issue. But like I say, it's a lot of levity. But we have a few key story points to sort of move the story along. There's some revelations for those of us who aren't reading all the comics. They drop a bomb on me. I'm not reading the X-Force comics, which I guess I should. I mean, I know that's kind of the deal with the Marvel comics. You really should read everything, but there's a bomb in there that's kind of dropped on you in the first few pages. Really, I think it's actually the first. Maybe it's the second page. No, I'm sorry. It's the first splash page right here, where they sort of drop something on you that happened in the other episode. So in the other comic, I'm sorry. So it was good to have that little tidbit of information. So anyway, so I'm keeping up with that. Not a little bit of action, not too much going on in this issue. Now the next one I started is actually. Now I've got the first issue here, but I think the most recent issue is actually issue 5. It's actually pretty good, so I think I'm going to stick with this. I'm probably going to get caught up. But it's a Star Wars Target Vader. And without giving too much away, this is a story about basically a bunch of bounty hunters, or a team of bounty hunters are going to go and try and kill Darth Vader. That sounds like an impossible task. We'll see. But for my 2 cents, the art is pretty good. The penciling, the coloring is really good too. I got to say it's a pretty interesting concept. Like I said, this is just the first issue, so we'll see how this goes. But I'm hooked enough to go ahead and pick up a second one. Now, like I said, this is actually up to issue 5. This is just the first issue, so we'll see how it goes. But I think it's worth, if nothing else, to get a few more issues and maybe get mostly caught up, see where the story goes. But it's an interesting thing to think about. Target Vader, really? You're going to try to assassinate Vader? That's pretty cool. So interesting. Peacemakers. Oh, we got a few more people stopping by. Darkness, hello there. Good to see you. DJ Odyssey, always good to see you, brother. How are you? Mads, Mama Barrett, evening. Evening to y'all also. Bruce, Logan, Frank Rogers, always a pleasure. Great to see you. Thank you so much for stopping by. For those of you who were just stopping in, let me go ahead and recap. Before I got into any of the subjects, I wanted to get into what are you reading? The what are you reading segment. It's kind of the way I kick off every Wednesday show. I am keeping up with X-Men. Okay, so this is issue 2. This was birthed out of the Jonathan Hickman Powers of X and House of X series, and so this is the second issue of the X-Men. And It's pretty good. A lot of levity, a lot of laughs actually in this issue. Really funny. The story basically is Cyclops, and he takes his 2 kids out on not a field trip. They don't go to Disneyland. They go to kill monsters on another island. So, but it's really interesting. It's like I said, it's funny. There's a lot of levity. There are a few key story points, little nuggets of info they drop in there. So it's not a complete throwaway comic. But like I said, the art style is really good. They continue with the good storytelling. So it's this is definitely worth sticking with. So this is a second issue X-Men by Jonathan Hickman. And then what I just touched on, you may have just seen this. This is the now this is issue 1. I think issue 5 is the most current issue. But this is Star Wars Target Vader. Now this basically the concept about this is a group of bounty hunters are going to try and assassinate Darth Vader. Yeah, I know. Sounds pretty crazy. But I picked this up. I wasn't caught up with this at all. Like I say, I'm about 5 issues back, and it's pretty good. Some of the art is really good. You know, you've got some pretty good penciling, really good coloring also. And for the most part, the story it's just getting off the ground. So we'll see. We'll definitely see how that pans out. But there's another, you know, every Wednesday is New Comic Book Wednesday, and there are a few announcements. Of course, they give you out the sort of the spotlight. This is the free Marvel handout when you buy a Marvel comic, and they highlight a few of the upcoming comics. But one of the ones I'm actually really interested in is Star Wars #1. Let's see, this is the back of it. This is going to come out in January. I believe it's January 1st, 2020, and it's got a little teaser in here. I'll flip over. I mean, listen, if these few pages don't get you at least intrigued, I don't know. You may not even be a Star Wars fan. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not. No judgment. But anyway, you see the end of Empire Strikes Back. I mean, come on. And then you see something that we never saw in the movie. You actually see a dejected, you know, I guess depressed for the most part. Luke, you know, he's grappling with the fact that he just found out that Darth Vader was his dad. So, kind of a big deal. Let me go back to the chat. Oh wow, look. Everybody's piling in here. What is going on? Jake Faust, great to see you. Stallone fan 03, good to see you. Darius Scott, always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Oh, Lorena Creole, great to see you. Thanks for stopping by before everybody goes to bed. I know it's a little late. That's why this is only an hour. I also have to get to bed eventually. I have work tomorrow. Demajani, good to see you, brother. Great to see you. How you doing? Stallone fan Mads, everybody saying hi to everybody. Love it. Okay, the bourbon tonight is still a Jim Beam. We're finishing this off, and then next week we'll try. I think I'm going to go with Makers. I'll keep you posted on that. So anyway, so you found out about what I'm reading. Let me know in the comments. Is anybody reading anything specific? Anything going on? Any comic book series? Any book series? Anybody catching up on the Star Wars EU? Let me know in the comments. Talk amongst yourselves. It's great. It's a great time to be had by all. So. Let's get into the topics. And the first topic is going to be Mandalorian review / schedule. Now, don't worry. I know it's only been out for a few days. I am not going to spoil anything in the Mandalorian. We're going to talk about some of the other ancillary things going on. So just to review, for those of you who don't know, I did a spoiler-free review on Monday. I saw it when it came out. I got to tell you, it's great. It's great. The show was great. For those of us that were just craving some good Star Wars, man, I tell you what, it's a breath of fresh air. It really is. Not perfect by any stretch of imagination. It is only the first episode. Who knows what could happen? The show could easily go off the rails. But for now, from what I'm seeing right now, good time to be had. But as we see the divides in the fandom, we're going to see some other people that have some other issues, shall I say. Let me go ahead and share the screen real quick. And we're going to talk about, well, no, you know what? I'm sorry. I don't even have, I don't have anything on this one because this is, sorry, I got to put my mic down. This comes from Forbes. It's our buddy Scott Mendelson, huge Last Jedi fan. Listen, the thing is doing well, okay? And in the general sense, okay, Rotten Tomatoes has it at 87 critic rating, a 94% audience score, which is not surprising. It's a really good show. But we have the detractors out there. So getting back to our good old buddy Scott Mendelson over at Forbes, he's, you know, to critique the show is fine, But to make these sort of statements is a little bit ridiculous, to say the very least. So one of his statements is that it feels awkwardly staged. He said that it's just coasting on the Star Wars name, as if you couldn't say that about The Last Jedi. But here's what really got me. One of his comments was, it doesn't feel like a movie or a TV show. What are you trying to say? So it's a little nuts. And he also said that the dialogue wasn't sharp, which I just don't get that. That was one of the standouts for me in this show, was that the dialogue was just so good. And you see a lot. If you haven't seen it, don't worry. Once again, I'm not going to spoil anything. But you really see some of this in the trailer. Werner Herzog, God, I mean, when you watch the show, he is just captivating. He really is. I mean, he really just draws you into the scene, and he gets you there, and he keeps you there as long as you're in that scene. So, I mean, as far as the dialogue goes, I don't understand that. But I think we're going to see some people that are going to hate on this for the reasons that we love it. You're going to see a strong male lead, from what I can gather, in this role in this series, and that's going to upset some of those same detractors that were all over the Last Jedi in the opposite way that we are. So, that's a little bit upsetting, but what can you do? It's to be expected. I think I saw it. Tommy, good to see you, brother. Shellback, great to see you, sir. How are you? Lethal Lightning is in the building. Brother, how are you? He says, hail from work. I don't want to get you in trouble. Great to see you. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Everybody's doing well. What we got going on? We got Stallone fan. Anyone here see the Legos Star Wars Empire Strikes Out? It's better than Last Jedi. Yeah, that is sad, isn't it? It is. Did we see Mox in here? Somebody's saying hi to Mox. Did I miss you? Oh, there he is. There he is. Mox, great to see you, brother. How you doing? And of course, we already saw DJ. Good to see you, man. Miss Lorena, always a pleasure. Yeah, so I think I just want to prepare y'all for that. Go ahead and get ready. You're going to have these. Stevie J, man, good to see you, brother. Thank you. Yeah, no, this is not the house. Sorry, I'm not doing that well. Okay, I'm not even monetized yet. So, but yeah, so it's you're going to have that sort of pushback. So once again, this goes back to the old adage: you need to make your own decisions. Listen to me if you so choose. Listen to others in the community, and then you're going to hear some of the other side. And then you've got to. The issue here is that there's a large barrier. I think we're not just talking about a movie where it's sort of a one-time deal. You pay your $10, $15, whatever, you go see it, and that's it. You're talking about signing up for a subscription-based service to get all this. So my advice to you is that if you're sort of on the fence, there is a free trial available. I think it's a 7-day trial. So this is and we're going to go over the schedule, because that was one of my big questions. How often are these coming out? I thought maybe every month. I don't know. But the first episode came out Tuesday. It wasn't Monday. I'm sorry. It was Tuesday. And then we have episode 2 is going to come out Friday. Kind of an odd schedule. We're going to get it. Well, you know what? Why not? Let's just go ahead and get into it while I'm talking about it. Okay. We're going to look at the schedule. And this is a release schedule. Okay. The Mandalorian release schedule. Now, we've already seen the first one came out on Tuesday. You can expect the next one on Friday. And then every Friday until it looks like mid-December, where episode 7 is going to be on a Wednesday. So that's going to be sort of a packed week there. I think they're trying to beat the Christmas vacation, I guess. Drink. And continue. And then we're going to finish up with episode 8 in December the 27th. Now, they speculate on the times. When can we expect these to come out? They say midnight on the East Coast. Then they back it up. They say, well, maybe it's midnight Pacific Standard Time. So I think I would just stay tuned. Is it worth staying up till midnight to watch it? Maybe for some, but I think that it's probably going to be best just to, when you wake up Thursday morning, check to see if it's available. And maybe you can watch it before work. Maybe depending on your shifts when you work, maybe you can watch it then. But so anyway, so here is our schedule. Okay. So let me circle back to my other point. If you are on the fence, okay, and you're thinking, well, should I get this? Should I wait? I don't know. I mean, it's Disney Star Wars. They could, I could get this, and then episode 3 comes out and it's just garbage. Possible. It's very possible. This is what I suggest to you, okay? Wait. You're looking at December 27th. You're going to have 8 episodes coming out. That's probably that's going to be at least half a season. Okay, I doubt that that's one season. So you're looking at half the season there. I say wait till around the 27th, before January, and between now and then maybe we'll get some more information about is that half an episode? Is that just a mid-season break? Is there going to be another half season? Is that the complete first season? Take all this information in, avoid the spoilers if you can, and then sign up for the free trial. And then you've got 7 days to take in half this series, and maybe you'll like it. Maybe continue. Now the thing is that Disney Plus is not just The Mandalorian. There's a lot of other content there, and if you've got kids, it may not be a bad thing to have. So you get access to some of the other movies that that usually locked up in the vault. So just something to keep track of. I'm not even going to try to pronounce your name. I'm sorry. I'm just going to go Jedi Susie, I guess. Did they say what time the episodes will drop? Yeah, I was just discussing that. They speculate midnight on the East Coast, or it even could be midnight on the Pacific Coast. So that'd be 3 a.m. for the East Coasters. So they're not quite sure. If you want to stay up late, I guess you're going to have to start at midnight and then wait. I think that now it launched at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But that was the whole service launched at 6 a.m. I don't know if the episodes will drop at that same time, but that's all we know. At this point, it's going to be that's the point of reference. You can kind of go with that and see if maybe that's going to hold true. Not quite sure. When the second episode drops, I think at that point it'll be, fair to say that that's pretty much where the standard, release time. So let's see. Oh, here we go. Yeah, she says, or he, I'm sorry, I don't mean to assume any genders. I work third shift, so as soon as it drops, I'm going to look. Here we go. Yeah, exactly. That's the benefit of that third shift, isn't it? Yeah, it really is. So, and then also you get to go home and in the morning and catch all the other stuff that most of us can't catch because we're at work during the day. So happy. Oh, here we go. Here's my buddy. Happy Dinosaur 8000. Nice place you got there. Yeah, thanks. Yeah. It's just kind of hole in the wall. This is not. Oh, yeah. It's green screen, guys. Sorry. If you saw what the room was like, you'd just be boring. I mean, just a guest bedroom. That's all it is. Drink. Okay. Thank you. I thought I looked like Sioux Indian, so I wasn't sure. So yeah, you pronounced it correctly. Susie. Okay. Jedi Susie. Thank you. I never want to mess anybody's name up. It's just, I don't want to appear to be rude. So, Miss Lorena, I downloaded episode 1 at 5 a.m. and watched it before work. Server doesn't get hit so hard then. That's a really good point too. I think I was probably around when it launched. I was up early, and I think it was 6:30-ish when I started. And I didn't really have an issue because I was on the website. But then they switched to or they launched, I guess, the app. Because I got the Apple TV, and then I've got my iPad. So then I switched to the app, and that's when it really sort of stabilized for me. The worst issue that I had watching the show was I could go to the tab, I could click on it, but the play button wasn't there. So I could see the summary, but I just couldn't. There was no play button to press. So, but other than that, I mean, it seemed to work fine. I mean, and you got to expect that a few little hiccups here and there. That's not a big thing. You gotta, I give Disney plenty of crap, and they deserve it. But in this case, I'm not gonna beat them up on this. It's not really fair. Benzo, buddy, see you sneaking in there. How you doing? Benzo, good to see you, bro. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah, like Susie and the Banshees. And Susie and the Banshee. Yeah, Benzo, here we go. Benzo saying hi to everybody. Everybody's having a good time. That's a good deal. Okay, so that's sort of an overview of The Mandalorian. I'm recommending that you check it out. I'm recommending that you don't be discouraged by some of the naysayers. And you probably don't, Scott Mendelson, you probably don't listen to him anyway. But you're going to hear a lot of it out there from both sides. Rotten Tomatoes is not really solid either. Just because it says 87 critic, 94 audience, it's Rotten Tomatoes, But I think that the audience score is always what's important anyway. And it's I think you're going to enjoy it. Now, this is episode 1, so I understand everybody's frustrations and fears and all your trepidation. I'm with you 100%. That's why I say, if you're really on the fence, if you don't want to sign up for the service, wait. Do your 7-day trial at the end of December. Watch all 8 episodes, and then form your opinion from there. A lot of people have issues with Disney, with what they've done with some of the properties they've acquired, not just Star Wars. And listen, I totally support you. I understand where you're coming from. It's frustrating to see what we know and love be destroyed by some big corporate monstrosity. So I'm with you. Yeah, Sloan fan, I gotta agree with you, buddy. I think our eyes were really open, at least mine were, when we got to Captain Marvel and all the shenanigans with that, with the way that they, unconfirmed, but we had a lot of reports of empty seats. We have a lot of reports of not just people online checking the seat maps, but actual, workers at the theaters that really took issue with it all. Michael Brent, buddy, how you doing? Good to see you. I totally am trying to get over Star Wars. Stick with the 90s sitcoms. Like Captain. Look at this. These are this is good stuff. Captain Planet, Gargoyles, Batman the Animated Series, Freakazoid, Star Trek, or even Prince of Egypt. Yes, and that's another way they get you with this Disney Plus. There's a lot of stuff on there. Gargoyles is actually one of the shows that's on there. And listen, I hate to make this a harder decision for y'all, but if you like the old Marvel cartoons from the 90s, they got them all. They got stuff from the 80s. I mean, all the X-Men stuff from the 90s, the Spider-Man from the 90s. You got the Incredible Hulk series from I think it was the late 80s, I think. All the old stuff. I mean, it's just everything Marvel, TV-wise, they've got it. They really do. So, you're going to get, I think there's a lot there and I'm not trying to sell you on it, but I'm just trying to prepare you for what you're going to get with your hard-earned money. And it's something you really got to consider. There's a lot of content there. There really is. And there's some other things that we're going to get into a little bit later. But anyway, so it's a lot. I think it's a lot for $6.99. I think it is, just because Disney is like the Unicron of IPs, right? They just roam through the galaxy and they just eat up all these intellectual properties. So they've got Fox, and that's how they got all the 90s cartoons, X-Men. But one thing they also have, all 30 seasons of The Simpsons. I mean, there's a lot there to consume. And I got to say this. And listen, I'm not a reformed Disney critic. Okay, I still got a lot of problems with Disney, but it is nice to just click on the Star Wars button and have all my Star Wars right there. Now, there's also the ancillary crap, but my Star Wars is there. The first 6 episodes. And what's funny is, I don't know if you've seen this too, but there's no Last Jedi to be seen. There's also, if I'm not mistaken, I didn't see Solo either. There's just Rogue One and Force Awakens. So does that mean anything? Probably not. That probably means that they're tied up in other contracts with other streaming services or cable services. So I'm sure there's not that much there, but I just thought that was kind of funny to start out not having the ones that I hate. So Disney officially forgotten what good storytelling and character development is. That's true. And that's a lot of the issues that we have, Unfortunately, for the mainstream media or for the shills, we're not all just hate mongers. We're not all sexist and racist. I'm sorry. We're just fans that didn't like what you gave us. That's it. It's really just that simple. Give us something creative. Give us something that we're not looking for something that's going to equal the original trilogy, but something in that same vein, right? Something good. Tasty. Eating critics again. See, this is what you have when you have a dinosaur in the chat. He's just taking lives. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. Stallone fan says Captain Marvel was protected. The Incredible Hulk is now a better film after seeing Captain Marvel, and Nerd Hulk is in Endgame. Yes. I don't know how y'all feel, but I was a big fan of the Incredible Hulk movie with Edward Norton. I liked it. It had a cool Iron Man / Tony. Well, it was a Tony Stark cameo at the end of the movie. That was cool. It was the first time that we saw. Now we saw at the end of Iron Man 1, we saw obviously the Nick Fury cameo at the end, and that was the first sort of in-credit scene that really opened our eyes to the bigger picture. But it was the first time in Hulk that we saw a character from an existing movie cross over and have a cameo in. I mean, just he wasn't even in the main movie; he was just in an in-credit scene. But that began this whole, and you have to remember, transport yourself back in time. That didn't happen. You didn't just have stars from one movie jump in to be in another movie as a cameo or just a little side, character. It didn't really happen. There may be examples out there, but it wasn't that frequent. And to have that going on in a superhero cinematic universe, it was mind blowing at the time. Really was. Okay, Perp. Did I see Perp? Where's he at? There he is. There he is. Perp saying, "Yerp." How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Good to see you. I want to make sure I'm not missing anybody in the chat. We got Benzo. We got Stevie J still here. Good, good. Let's see. They might as well leave The Last Jedi on. They might as well leave The Last Jedi in the dumpster fire that it is, okay? Put it in the garbage. Put it in the disposal. Flush it down the toilet. Nobody wants to see that crap anyway. Yeah. Let's see. Anybody else in the chat? We got still on a fan. What are you saying? I've always enjoyed The Incredible Hulk, but its quality has gone up since seeing those two films I mentioned. I see what you're saying with the, and unfortunately, I can't comment on. Maybe it is fortunate, but I can't speak much to Captain Marvel because, guys, I still haven't seen it. Now, maybe I have the service now. Maybe I'll see it just so I can be informed, so that when we're talking about this on my show, all right, Jedi, you're right. Drink. But I'm sorry, my glass isn't as full as it normally is. I just finished off the bottle, so I apologize. My bad. Next week, that will not be a problem, I promise you. Yeah, the Incredible Hulk was the movie. The character in the movie was more Hulk than he probably ever was. I mean, the first Avengers movie was pretty good. I think we got a pretty good Hulk. We really got Hulk smash. We got all that. But since then, it hasn't been. Well, I think he was okay in the second Avengers movie. Little bit too. They started to kind of go off the rails with the third Thor movie when we saw Hulk sort of. He wasn't. He was a little too comical in my opinion. I mean, he was talking, and that's fine. We've seen it in the comics, but for me, it just wasn't. I didn't like that direction necessarily with the character. I still wanted him to be on the edge, being savage and all that. So. Hey, Christy, good to see you. Yeah, Captain Marvel, right? And with that, we're going to move on to the next topic, everybody. The next topic is the Jedi Fallen Order review embargo. Now, what is that? What am I talking about? For those of you that are into movies, movie reviews, when a new movie comes out, or in this case, a new video game, what you have is an embargo, which means all the journalists can see it. In this case, I'm sure they've played the game or at least seen someone playing the game or whatever. But you're allowed to see it and view it, and you can go ahead and write your review, but you cannot post it or even talk about it until after the embargo lifts. It's a review embargo, okay? Here's why this is interesting, okay? Let me go ahead and bring up the article. We're going to go ahead and talk about this. And I haven't seen anyone talk about this yet. And this is coming up pretty quick. Now, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, maybe you're not familiar with the game, let's go ahead and watch the trailer. And then and after that, we'll discuss, okay? Let me just make sure the volume is turned down. I want to blow out your speakers. All right.
We've lost. The Empire is hunting Jedi survivors. Now, they know who you are. I can't change the past.
You trespass, Jedi.
But I'm done hiding. Cal Kestis. You will always struggle. It's the choice to keep fighting that makes us who we are.
Okay, so that looks pretty good, right? Looks pretty good. I'm pumped about the game. My one man, I tell you, one of my most favorite games, any Star Wars game is Force Unleashed. Okay, so I love that third person type of view. But here's what concerns me. All right, let's go ahead and read. It's a very short article, so let's go through it. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order officially launches this Friday, November 15th. Okay, and you'll be able to read/watch their review at 9 p.m. Pacific time on Thursday, November 14th. In other words, tomorrow night, okay? According to EA's EA Origins storefront, that's actually the exact time Fallen Order will also be unlocked digitally. Unfortunately, we can't say anything else about the game just yet, but you can bet we have plenty of coverage for you to pursue, blah, blah, blah. So here we go. Here's why this concerns me, okay? Is that normally when you have a movie and there's an embargo, okay, it's lifted a week or two before the movie releases. This is to create buzz. Okay. Hey, Drunk 3PO. Hey, Drunk, did you tag your stream? I don't think I did. Yeah. So, but what you'll do is you'll have this embargo lift a week or two before the movie to build buzz, right? To get the positive word of mouth out there. What you will typically see, though, is if a movie is bad and the studio is trying to bury the film, they'll release it in January, which is typical bad movie month, okay? But then they won't lift those embargoes until the week of, the day of, 2 days before, because they don't want anybody talking about how bad it is, how crappy it is, okay? So this is why this concerns me, okay? Oh, we got let's see. Bye, Fox. This is great as always. Listen, thanks for stopping by. Sorry you couldn't stay the whole time, but this stream will be up on my channel. Please check it out. So anyway, so what you'll have is this embargo lifting basically as soon as it's available to download. So that means that you're not going to have any in-depth reviews about this game until it's available to purchase. What does that mean? Well, like I just said, I mean, when we're talking about movies, they're trying to bury the film. They don't want anybody talking about it. It's crap. They don't want to discuss it. So that's typically an issue. With this game, I don't know, but I know that typically you're going to see some of these reviews come out a month before because they've got to actually print this and put it in magazines, and then you'll get like a Game Informer, and then you'll see that already reviewed. A week before, a month before, sometimes the game comes out, you're pumped, you're ready to buy it. So does this bode well for the game? Is this a negative for the game? I don't know. Obviously, there's really no way to tell until you wait till tomorrow at 9 p.m. to see what is going to go on. I have high hopes for this, just from what I've seen, some of the early gameplay footage and trailers. But yeah, I think it's concerning. But what this tells me, and my advice is going to be for anybody out there who's excited about this game, who wants to get this, maybe download it the day of to start playing it. I think you wait. I think you give it a day, just one day. I think with this, you can give it a day, and then what you'll find is that those reviews will come out, and you'll see those. And if you're getting 7s across the board and a 7 out of 10, if you're getting, okay, well, maybe it's probably a safe bet. But if this thing comes out and they say it's the gameplay's, it looks beautiful, but what if the gameplay's broken? You don't have that issue with a movie, but with a game, if the gameplay is wonky, if it's broken, if you can't, progress the way you want to, if the story doesn't make any sense, I think you're going to find that it's going to be really frustrating. So a lot of this can be fixed with updates too. So I say, let's give it a day. I'm going to try to restrain myself and give it a day and look for these original. I'm sorry, not the initial reviews to come out and tell us what's going on. Is this game worth checking out or not? So, but anyway, that's my 2 cents on that. Let me know what you think. Anybody feel the same way? Anyone excited about the game? Does anybody care? EA is involved. I know that typically will put a bad taste in some people's mouth. Drink. But I think you got to take that with a grain of salt and move forward. I kind of got lost with the Battlefront games. It was fine in the beginning, but then there was no real reason for me personally to continue to play the game. I don't know if you have a different take on that, but yes, Drunk. You need my Yoda. we'll have a class. I appreciate all the help. Another great thing about this community is that you got other people that are reaching out to you and trying to help. And that's by all accounts, the big man on campus. He's got a large channel, and he's looking out to maybe help me make this better for you. So I appreciate that. Happy Dinosaur. What are you saying? I wait 2 weeks before buying a game usually. That's not a bad rule of thumb. Because like I say, a lot of this stuff can be fixed with updates. I typically don't buy hardware first day of launch. The only system I ever did that with was the PlayStation Portable. Kind of a nut for that system, but that was supposed to be the Walkman of the 21st century. I was really excited about that. But every console I've always waited because, you have some price drops. There's some issues with that first iteration. They always especially with PlayStation, they always redesign those systems anyway. So if you wait a year or two, you're going to get a brand new system anyway. Different design. Benzo, he says he's 50-50 about the game. Benzo, let me know. Is that just from what you've seen so far, or is that because EA and Disney are involved? Let me know. So that's sort of my final thoughts on this. The review embargo is the only thing that has sort of given me pause about this because I've liked everything I've seen so far. I don't know. It's like anything else. Time will tell. So let's move on to the last topic, and this is something else. Okay. Disney Plus, and I was sort of pumping this thing up right when you came into the stream, and we were talking about how great it was and all this stuff and how it's just Mandalorian's blowing our minds. There's an issue with some of the disclaimers. Now, this is something else I haven't seen anyone else talking about. I had to bring this to your attention. And I've got some pictures here, so we're gonna screen share this, and then let's talk about it. Okay, so what I'm about to show you, these are screenshots that I took, okay, of the actual descriptions of some of these old movies, okay, classic movies. So let's just take a look at it real quick, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. It's odd to say the least. Great, just not gonna let me do it. Of course, it's not. Crap. Give me just 1 second, y'all. I'm trying to get this going. StreamYard. Okay, well, tell you what, give me just 1 second and we'll discuss this because it's definitely worth discussing. What you've got is, tell you what, let me see if I can bring it in this way. See if we can bring it this way. Just bear with me for a second, guys. I need to get this up so I can show you. Well, let me tell you this. Well, let's just talk about it, and then we'll move forward. Okay. So basically, and I'm going to read this off, so I'm not going to get this. I don't want to get this twisted. I don't want to get it sideways. What you've got is they've added this description, and this is so. I mean, just when you think everything's going well, okay, they go and do something like this, and they totally screw it up. Okay. So as you go to, you're in the interface. And you're clicking on the movies, and before you can hit the play button, it shows, the cover of the video, and then it shows just a basic description, okay? And I know this is going to be kind of wonky. I apologize, but this is basically what I'm talking about here, okay? You see, for the most part, okay, that's the interface, okay? So in this case, I'm talking about Dumbo. And let me read you the description of Dumbo, okay? This is the inspirational tale of the courageous baby elephant who, with the help of a clever friend, uses his sensational ears to soar to fame. This program is presented as originally created. Get this. It may contain outdated cultural depictions. And then if you go over to the Jungle Book, they say the same thing. They basically give you a brief rundown of what the movie's about, right? And then they say the program is presented as originally created. It may contain outdated cultural depictions. And I'm so sorry I can't show this to you. It's so horrible. They did this to Dumbo, the Jungle Book, and then they also did this. And I'll tweet these screenshots out later. And they also did to the Aristocrats, I think. So this is triggering to some people. Now, they don't change the rating. Okay, it's still rated G, but they added that disclaimer to let you know that this was created in a different time, where it may you for those that are culturally sensitive, you need to be prepared because Dumbo, the cartoon about a flying elephant, may offend you. Now, what in there is offensive? What is alarming? I can understand that maybe the fact that the Dumbo gets drunk. Maybe what else is going on in there? You have the only thing I can think of is the racial undertones or overtones or whatever of the fact that these figures that are actually setting up the tents are dark. I don't know that that's necessarily their skin color. I think that's just the way the humans are depicted in the show, with the exception of just a few. I think with the ringmaster, most of the human beings are sort of shrouded in darkness anyway. They're not the focus of the movie. The focus is Dumbo and his friend the mouse and pink elephants and the crows that had never seen an elephant fly. But so it's odd. Really odd. So let me go see what some of y'all are talking about. What do you think about this? Am I reading too much into this, or is there something to be had by? Or there's something to be said by this weird disclaimer? Okay, Activision ruined Blizzard when they bought them and fired High Moon after they put out 2 killer Transformers games. So you're talking about corporate takeovers within the gaming world, and that never goes bad. What are you talking about? It's sad. I think what we see is the big the corporations that don't have an appreciation for the properties that they have, and it's really sad. So yeah, Activision equals hot garbage. Okay, those Transformers games were they were cool. They were very cool. So let's see. Got to get in the got to put in their warnings. I mean, it's odd. It's really odd. Listen, this is not something that is depicting real world events. These are cartoons. Now, if you go and look at some of their live action stuff, their nostalgia stuff, like bedknobs and broomsticks, which included scenes with Nazis, there's no warning there, and that's live action. Now, I understand it's not real Nazis, but it's a live action depiction of Nazi Germany. I don't understand how that doesn't get some kind of a warning. If that's going to trigger somebody, I mean, Dumbo or a Nazi, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm not with it. I'm not hip like the kids are. Warner Brothers kind of said that the same thing with Looney Tunes, right? But just worded it better. Yeah, I don't know that did they put an actual warning on some of the Looney Tunes cartoons? Well, I sure hope not. But listen, and you're exactly right, Dutch. Go watch any cartoon, those old stuff from the 40s and 50s and 60s. I mean, you're talking about violence. I mean, you're talking about violence. Good Lord, they kill each other in every episode. Let's see what else is going on here. Makes me want to watch it now that I knew something is inappropriate. Exactly. Yeah. Maybe it's going to have the adverse effect. Oh, it's just culturally insensitive. It must be good. It must be good. And I love those old movies anyway. I mean, I just, and yes, it was made in a different time, but I mean, it's been around for 50 years. Yes, it was made at a different time. I mean, come on. Yes, I would hope that you would present it as it was originally creative, but maybe they're going to do a George Lucas and start giving us special editions. Now we're going to have like little creative editing cuts, or they're going to try to superimpose other stuff in these shows. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Wouldn't that be wonderful? Happy dinosaur. Someday I will fly, and when I fly, when I fit on an airplane. Oh yeah, well, when you fit, they make big airplanes, buddy. I don't know what kind of dinosaur you are. I don't know if are you like a velociraptor? You got a better shot. Now, if you're I don't know, man. If you're like a stegosaurus, if you're a Tyrannosaurus Rex, I don't know, buddy. You may be your best bet may be cargo planes, or Dumbo drop. You see that when they picked them up, they picked up the elephant with the basket. Maybe that's the route you need to take, right? Just just do that. See, Nazis aren't outdated. So yeah. Nazis, come on. Of course, is there another insult that's so overly used in our culture today? as Nazi. Everybody's a Nazi. If you don't like The Last Jedi, you're a Nazi. So it's pretty culturally insensitive. Ridiculous. All this does is promote victim culture. It really does. It really does. That's a great point, Stevie J. It's how can I be a victim today? You know, these people must wake up every day. What can I find on the internet? What can I dive into and find to be offended? You know, how can I create a new victimhood and then let's pass it out like candy to everybody? You know, let's just dig into Dumbo and find something that's culturally insensitive or it's inappropriate. Yes, of course, it was made in a different time, and yes, you have to watch it with that in mind. And for me personally, when I watch it, I have that in mind, and I think, wow, look at the animation that they were able to accomplish, 50, 60 years ago. It's insane to think about it. It really is. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's nuts. And I'm sorry I couldn't get those snapshots for you. It's funny to look at. But if you have the service, for those of you who have Disney Plus, go check it out. You can check it out right now. Just click on it and go to Dumbo, and you'll see that in the description. And I think there's going to be more to come. I think there'll really be more to come. I think you're going to have maybe Sleeping Beauty. You're going to have warnings about men not asking for consent to kiss Sleeping Beauty. I'm just saying it's going to happen. Would any of you be surprised? Come on. Would any of you be surprised? I don't think so. I wouldn't be surprised. It's just the way that the world is right now. So let's see, Stevie J. Tommy, what are we saying? That is still a hot topic right now. Yeah, that's true. That's true. They even edited Steamboat Willie. Did they? Are you just joking? Or is that, listen, at this point, I mean, come on. I would believe anything. Who knows? Hail Christy. Hi, Brad. Everybody's having. Can I not post links to websites on here? I got to make you a mod, I think. And unfortunately, I don't know how to do that right now. It's just you're gonna have to bear with me because I don't quite know how to make someone a mod yet. But you saw Drunk 3PO earlier. He's gonna give me a class. So I'm going to work on this, okay? I'm going to improve. I'm going to try to improve. So, yeah, Christy's letting you know that no, only Fox and mods can. So, Tank Ferret art. Cool. All right. Let's go with that. If you're talking about tankers as in military tankers, I'm right there with you, brother. Let's see. Not sure if Fox has mods. Yeah, see, I don't have mods yet, so I apologize. Bear with me. It's, this is only a couple weeks me streaming. I'll get that taken care of though, and we'll get mods in here. I might have to recruit Tommy. Tommy, if you're in the chat, you might have a new job with all your modding. Tommy, this is like your full-time job, right? Or is it like Mary, where she just pays everybody in ramen? You just get ramen noodles. Is that how you get paid? Let me know in the comment section. How do you get what's your rate, Tommy? Let me know. Let's see what's going on here. Your tablet looks pretty good on screen if you ever need to use it. Other than the issue is that I actually have the images and I tried to share that, but I don't have a Chrome tab open with those images on there. So I thought I was going to be able to show that, and I was able to do that last time. So I apologize, guys. But you get the gist of it. And for those of you who do have, you know what? Pay attention to my Twitter. I'll tweet these out after the episode's over, so that you can at least see those for those of you who don't have the service yet. But yeah, it's kind of silly. I'm going to be honest. It's kind of silly. And DJ says, no, I'm serious. They did edit Steamboat. Oh. Are you serious? What did they edit? It's a black and white cartoon. It was the first talkie. He had a few noises in it. A few, he's whistling. What did they edit out a Steamboat with? It's just sad, because some of these things need to be, preserved for what they were. I think we need to look back at these things and say, hey, look at that. That's great art. Yeah, they did something there and there. Yeah, you couldn't get away with that now, but it's a great way to look at. It's a time capsule. It's a time capsule. It's what it is. And to just tear down monuments and go back and change things. Because you're concerned about cultural insensitivity or what have you, it's just, you're destroying what was there. You really are. You're picking it apart. It's too much. There's no way to go back and sterilize history. You need to leave it the way it is so that we can learn from it. we need to learn from it. We need to look back and see what we did wrong, and know that we shouldn't do that anymore. Or maybe it was a little rough. Maybe we shouldn't have done that. And look back, but preserve it so that we can do that, right? Preserve it so that we can look back and say, okay, well, hey, I love the art, but you shouldn't have done this, shouldn't have done that. There you go. Let's see. I'm getting advice here. That's good. I like it. You can do it with the chat from general settings. Okay. Yeah, I'm in StreamYards right now, but I will do that, people. Tell you what. Let's do this live. Can we do it live? You want to bear with me for a second? See if I can't do something. Let's see what I'm gonna have any volunteers for modding. You can do it. Did you mean to spell it that way, Tommy? Do it. You can do it. Like the Emperor. It's like Breakfast at Tiffany's. While a classic movie has cringy Asian stereotypes, yes, there was a lot of stereotypes back then. But that's the way the world was. When you saw a Western, how many times did you see a white guy playing an Indian, playing a Native American? It's a white guy with a little bit of makeup on, and he was, some of it's really obvious. Some of them, they used Hispanic actors to portray Indians, which could be considered culturally insensitive. Listen, I think they were working with what they had at the time, okay? That's just the way the world was, okay? That was the reality of what that was. And how else can you measure how far we've come if you don't know where we started, okay? So leave it the way it is. Leave it the way it is, And just, you don't even need a disclaimer. You know what the disclaimer is? The year was freaking made. That's the disclaimer. Dumbo, 1955. That's it. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know, because the first thing a kid's going to say is, why isn't that like Pixar? Why isn't that 3D, animated, with computers? Oh, well, that was made in the 50s. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, okay. And then they look at, oh, okay, well, that's cool. And now you can see the progression. Now you can look at Pixar and you can see, wow, that's how far we've come. Why would you go back and change Toy Story 1? Just because the graphics don't look that great? Well, we could, but no, for the time it was phenomenal. For the time it was groundbreaking. And we can now gauge how far we've come with Toy Story 4, right? Because, look at the progression. So to whitewash and sterilize the past, it doesn't make any sense. Leave the past the way it is, because it's in the past. It's not our present. This is turning into a philosophical discussion. Fox, going to YouTube from the live chat, and there, through dots, you will see manage moderators. Okay, we may not do it now. I don't want to mess. I don't want to be embarrassed, and y'all look at me struggling to get that going. Fellow 19 kilo here. All right, Tank Ferret Art. All right, buddy. You're going to have to follow me on Twitter. We can talk. Always good to see a fellow tanker. I wonder, do you follow me on Twitter, or did you just see the 19K? That's kind of my flair I shoot up for everybody. LOL. Yeah. What do you like? You laughing at me? That's okay. I'm sure I earned that. Gary North. Good to see you, brother. How you doing? Tommy is the mod king. Tommy mods everywhere he goes. He knocks it. It's like it's second nature to him. It's like breathing. It's great. He does a good job too. Does a really good job. Where am I at? Did the chat just jump? Here we go. Okay. He said, yeah, I can help you out. Tell you what. Let me see. Can I do it from here? Oh, okay. Now, for those of you who don't know, you can actually, when you're in StreamYards, I can put you in timeout, and I can block you in StreamYard, but I can't make anybody a moderator from StreamYards. I'm sure I can probably do it here. All right, sir. I believe I've now modded you, Tommy. So why don't you go say something in the chat, Tommy? Say something in the chat. Let me know. Let me see if you've got the wrench. Oh, look at him. He's in trouble now. Or maybe I'm in trouble now. I don't know. Who's running the show? Tommy's running the show. All right, Tommy. Now, because you're my first mod, this is what I want to do. I want you to come on the show sometime. So if you're following me on Twitter, let me know. I'm pretty sure you are. I don't know if I'm following you or not. Let me know. Reach out to me. Let me know if you're following me. I'll make sure I follow you. And then we'll DM each other and we'll not. I'm going to get you on the show because I don't know. Have you ever been on anybody's live stream? because you should be. You should, listen, dude, as much as you're modding out there, you're helping everybody out, you should get to be on live stream if that's something you want. Some people don't like to be on camera, and I understand that. That's no problem. No problem at all. Let's see. If he doesn't mind, Drunk, can I go ahead and make you a mod also? I trust your judgment. Let me know. Give me a thumbs up or thumbs down, mod, or Drunk, if you want to be a mod. Let me know. Not that I'm going to have to. I'm not going to require your presence at every stream. I know you're a busy man, but just let me know. Tommy's cool. He's always welcome me in any chat. Yeah, listen, and that's I think it's the job of a moderator, a good moderator, is to notice when new people come in and say hi, and he's very good about that. Very good. So Tommy's everywhere. Okay, so yeah, isn't Steamboat Willie going into public domain soon? That's a good question. That's a good question. I'm not sure. I think they can renew the patent or the trademark, I believe. I think they can renew that. I'm not exactly sure. That's a great question. That's something we're going to need to dive into. Maybe that's be the topic of another live stream. Let's see. They took out a couple of shots of some. Oh, okay. Yeah, blackface. And then they re-edited one scene to now show another that looked like a black devil. Okay. I mean, listen, I say leave it in. I mean, that's we got to know where we came from. I mean, I think it's I understand, I get it. Everybody's going to have access to this now. It's not like you have to seek these movies out anymore, right? And buy a DVD or something. A kid is going to be able to grab his remote from mom and dad's TV and watch it. So I understand that kids are going to have access to this, and maybe they watch this old show and they see that, and it could maybe cause them some issues, or maybe I think what it's going to do, honestly, is cause a conversation. It will cause a conversation that I think is needed. It's important. It is very important. Let me see real quick. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure that I could do it from the app, but I can. So that's great. That's good. Okay, now I've got mods. Now I'm dangerous. Look out, everybody. Bruce Logan Frank Rogers. History is written by those who hung heroes. Braveheart. Bruce Logan Frank Rogers, you are, as always, inspirational. For those of you who don't know, this is one of my very first supporters from way back in the day. We go way back. Very, very wise man. Very wise man. And a great quote, by the way. Great quote. Not sure what you're talking about. I picture you with the set. Picture you with the setup in the Matrix. Oh yeah. Tommy's got all the computers. He's got them all set up, and it's just nothing but code. He's just watching code. Let's see. Let me scroll down here a little bit. Don't mod me. I don't want to have to be. Oh, that's true. Yeah. See, I wouldn't want to do that. I wouldn't want to put you. I wouldn't want to put you in chains. I wouldn't want to confine your personality. That's no fun, DJ. That's no fun. Let's see. History is often an ugly affair. We need to confront it, not shrink for what isn't socially acceptable without contrast. How can we see we made any social progress? And that's really what I was touching on before. How else can you gauge your progress? How else can you know how far you have come? If you can't look back in the past and see, look at technology is the biggest example, right? Look back and see the first iPod. Look back and see the first phone, iPhone, all that. Go back and see the first car and look how far we've come. You build on these things. You stand on the shoulders of giants as you move and push forward. So I think it's important to keep some of these things intact. A disclaimer is one thing. To go back and modify and change is something completely different. I realize that we're in the butthurt era. We are in the butthurt era. And those of us that grew up a few decades before some of these kids and some of these millennials don't understand that. It's like sandpaper, okay? How does sandpaper work? Well, sandpaper is rough. Sandpaper is coarse. And there's different coarseness, grits, different levels for how aggressive you want to get with it. And so you start with the coarsest sandpaper, and then you work your way down. And what you do is you take a rough surface and you smooth that out and you polish it to a fine finish. But it takes that roughness, okay? It takes that coarseness to shape and mold not only a piece of wood, but a human being. It takes some coarseness. When a child is young, raise up your child in the way he should go. And when he's young, he will not depart from it. Spare the rod, spoil the child. That's not an advocate of child abuse. Some children always need correction. Human beings, as we grow up, we need to be reminded of things that are wrong. We need to be reminded of how things didn't work in the past so that we don't, recreate those same mistakes. We can't do that. And if you whitewash, if you sanitize our past, we're not going to be able to look back on that. And see where we've made these mistakes. And I know the chat just jumped again. I apologize. Let me get caught back up here. And I think I'm probably pretty far back. BLFR. That's what I'm going to start calling. You get an acronym, sir. You get an acronym. Ideals are peaceful. History is violent. There you go. Ideals sound great. History bears the brunt. Really, that's the sandpaper I'm talking about. The sandpaper is necessary. If you take a piece of just paper and try to, work on a rough piece of wood, you're never going to get there. You're not going to get there. And it's through adversity. It's through the coarseness of it's through the fire, that we are forged as human beings. You take away the fire, you're just going to remain a raw piece of metal. If you've seen The Mandalorian, they take that Beskar metal and they forge that. They heat it up. They melt it. They form it. And it's through the heat, it's through the pounding, it's through all that, it's through the coarseness, is that you have something beautiful. And we need to try to forge ourselves as human beings. Go through the fire, go through the hell that is Earth sometimes, our life, and come out the other end a better person. God forbid that Dumbo triggers someone. I know. Can you imagine? They're gonna have to take a day off from work. I can't go to school, Mom. I watch Dumbo. Never be ashamed of your past, Disney. No, because, that's what built your company. We're here to support you. No embarrassment. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And thanks for sticking with me as I fumble through that. But I got a couple mods now. They're going to keep me straight. Let's try to get caught up here a little bit. This is crap. No, you don't have to behave. You're good. Let's see. Scroll down. Okay, and Tommy says, thank you. Listen, Tommy, and I hope you don't mind me kind of thrusting that on you. I'm not going to require that you be in every chat. Don't worry about that. If you're here, if you're not busy, I do appreciate the help. And I'll have to maybe knight a few more other people. We'll see how that goes. And Tommy does have me on Twitter. Okay, so listen, if I'm not following you, you let me know, okay? And then I'll get you on, buddy. I'll get you on. Maybe even this Saturday. For those of you who don't know, I do a Saturday show. I missed last Saturday. I apologize. Saturday Night Fever didn't happen last week. It was kind of a crazy Friday for me. I do apologize. But it's going to be back this weekend, 10 o'clock Saturday. So thanks to all. Okay. Gary's on LB's channel. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. I do have a Twitter. 19K Fox 1. Appreciate that. Thank you, sir. Well, let's see. I want to make sure I get to everybody's comments. All right, Tank Ferret Art, you are following me on Twitter. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I'll make sure I follow you as well. We can DM each other, and maybe I've got a couple tankers out there that have found me. Couple 19 kilos. Might have to have a tankers stream one night and just talk about some of the things that only tankers know, like sleeping in the driver's hole and fire commands and all that crazy stuff. DJ says, look at my avatar. I'm already in a bunny suit. Yeah, it doesn't get much crazier than that, does it? Well, it does, but it's a PG-13 show, so we'll keep the crazies to a minimal. See, I'm gonna go. What dinosaurs go? I'm gonna go to bed. Happy night to all. Thank you so much for stopping by. Happy Dinosaur 8000. I would hate to see the size of your bed. It's got to be expensive to buy sheets. Your laundry bill must be insane. But thanks for stopping by. I do appreciate it. Let me scroll down a little bit farther here. Okay. Solid stream. I appreciate you. I appreciate it. Oh, yeah. Joe, have I said hi to you yet, buddy? Thanks for stopping by. So, anyway, that is my show because you know the rules. when the drink's empty, it's time to go. When there's no more drink, then the show comes to an end. But before I let you go, I wanted to, as some of you may know, if you don't know, I do a 2-minute review, and it's brand new movies every week. I see a new movie Thursday night. I have a new review for you every Friday, okay? And I want to go and announce the movie this week is going to be Ford and Ferrari. For those of you who don't know, this is kind of a historical pick. I'm so excited about this movie. It's Matt Damon, it's Christian Bale, and this takes place, I can't remember the year. It's 60s. But this is Carroll Shelby and a crazy driver from England, and they try to take it to Ferrari. And Ford decides they're going to beat Ferrari in Le Mans. And it's a great, if you're kind of a gearhead, it's a great story about Ford once again sort of overcoming the odds and just really taking it to Ferrari. And then from that point on, they established their dominance in Le Mans for quite some time. So anyway, look forward for that Friday. Once again, thanks for stopping by, everybody. I do appreciate you. Thank you so much. And like I say, as always, have a blessed day. And I mean that. I mean that to all of you. I wish all the best for everybody that comes in. Agree, disagree, doesn't really matter. I enjoy the conversation. Hit me up in the comments section. DM me on Twitter if you got maybe a topic you want to see discussed on this show. If you want to talk about something different on Saturday Night Fever, let me know. I do. Once again, I always appreciate all the interactions. So have a blessed day, and I will see you next time.